I'm your main man, and today I'd like to welcome Tim Harper to my channel, but I just can't because he's such a piece of trash. He doesn't deserve to be welcome anywhere. He deserves to be taken and just strapped and just choked with a belt for his ways and customs and nonsensical antics. He will pay the price live in front of all of you. Let's just watch. He urinates all over himself and causes a grand shame to all of his horrible hobbit clan.
I am gonna rip your ears off and skull fuck the side of your head. Yeah, you love it.
Oh,
bring the pain, bitch.
All you people in YouTube land know these are surely the paltry inhabitations of a horribly vexed and inferior mind, gibbering in its anthropophagic the custom of halflings. This is a people eater here, people, and your main man is here to save the village for all times. Now repent before me on your knees and apologize for your antics and the antics of other halfling named West that you drug into this affair to try to 2-on-1 the Great One.
Let it be known that my known brethren have put you in place. A little person made you crawl and beg to just unleash all this putrid bullshit that's coming out of your mouth. I can't take it. I'm gonna puke. Ah! Ah! Yeah! Ah!
Dummy, that's not...
I'm gonna devour you from the shins up.
Even gnomes, dummy, don't like Tim Harper. Tim Harper is a piece of trash, dummy. He doesn't speak for us. Your main man.
What? Betrayed by my known brethren. I'll rip that.
I'll bite you in the face, dummy. All right, you gibbering, hideous, mealy-mouthed little maggot of the industry. I believe the people, the barbarian horde, and even your gnome and halfling alliance, those that support you clearly being gnomes and halflings, and only gnomes and halflings of small size and small mythical capacity, unlike the mighty strength of the ogres that scream with power from the mountains. And I believe they have asked you questions of some vaunted aspect to be brought before the god of RPG. Speak to me, simmering simpleton, in your questioning aspect, if you will, for the people in YouTube land.
I will unleash the fury of my halfling brothers. They have spoken to me and they boil up from my intestines where I've devoured all motherfuckers like you before in the past. Do you understand that all and chew and screw? Things inside of me will come forth that you've never seen the likes of before. The question: using the dice or not, ability check, smooth narrative flow, and player agency. Do you interrupt things with dice, you tall, ugly motherfucker?
Yeah, after your caustic outrage and attempts and intimidation against the large one, you devious piece of trash of the industry, you garbage truck man, I will tell you this: your main man is certainly a fan of the diceless engagement. However, you can certainly run into the problem with the lack of selling it. It's all about the player's capacity, potential, and ability to sell, to put over the scene, even at their own expense, to put over and shine up, you understand, and shine up the other players in the RPG event, in the game itself. And if they make those players look good, if they put over what's strong and vibrant about that other character, about that Ember or NPC or what have you in the scene, it certainly makes the scene pop and sizzle and draws more attention from the individual running the game. It could give the game master a lot of energy. A wonderful diceless save relying on narrative works, but it can work. It can backfire very badly if you have the manipulative, the power gamer, the piece of trash of the RPG industry involved in that aspect. Even then, it could certainly cause a maelstrom of problems in your game if the person's only looking to put themselves over. If they understand the immersive style, if they understand Within the Ring of Fire, available on drive-through-rpg.com, they will understand that what you need to do is put that game over, play for the scene. And if you play for the scene selflessly and you want to put that into the correct perspective, you will without a doubt succeed in a diceless narrative environment. I think adding dice from time to time certainly can liven things up, but it gives you two different flows and two different presentations and styles to help prevent any sort of stagnation the game may otherwise put over. And I'll throw it right back to you, you dirty demised halfling, you. Oh, he doesn't speak for gnomes, dummy. And let's see what you have to say on that same question. For your flamentations and such things, and will your princess be ashamed of the body of your own that's left lying on the road to be picked at by dogs and foul vultures?
I can't stop staring at that dead ferret on your face. It makes me grieve for my gnome friends that talk to such little creatures in the ground with their little heads and get that shit off your face! Get it off! Well, with dice, sometimes the dice get in the way. They tell us, you want to flow. You want to just keep speaking in character. You want to work through things. You want to explain things, describe things. And if you're waiting around for dice and rules, it slows down the pace. I can't stand it. I want that shit to flow fast. I want it to be strong. I want it to be violent. And oh, what page is that on? I must check. No, let it flow forth. Let it bring your subconscious to the forefront and just unleash that imagination. But randomness is key. Without a little bit of randomness, we're just all telling the same tales. We need some surprises. We need some excitement. So there's the benefit to dice. And as you say, there are people that will try to push a certain way, and they force their way without rules. They need those rules to bash them over the face like a 2x4 to the face. Boom! Yeah! Like that!
Well,
that's my answer to you.
It's certainly been documented. I enjoy smashing a 2x4 over someone's face as much as the next man. And I certainly agree that the cinematic quality produced by that could most definitely be exceptional. So turn it over. Open the scrolls that are pinned with your ultimate demise upon them and bring forth the next question. Provost of your own doom.
Wait! There's something wrong! There's an onion kid in here! Onion kid! What are you doing here? Get out of here! Oh, you've betrayed me! You're one of the barbarian horde after all!
That's what you
get! You shall pay!
Open your scrolls, you deleting, mentally lamentated individual.
How much control should players have over their characters' emotions? I don't have any control over mine. I don't know about you.
Well, that's certainly something we can agree upon. Anyone that's watched even one of my videos knows there is no control ever exercised at any point. I don't give a damn. I'm the most likely to offend you, man, in the RPG community. I work heel, baby, and I give no damn. That's right. So open your mouth with a soft file. I've destroyed the brain of this pitiful individual upon the other side of the screen. The fact he can even turn his computer on, and at this point, a tremendous surprise to anyone else. Now, if we talk about the control that a person should have over their own character, well, it comes down to this. You need to have collaborative, collective control between your game master or flame tender and the player of their catalyst. The player devise and develop something that's going to work with the initial premise of the game master. And once that player does that, you end up in a situation where you are definitely going to be able to have collaborative, see what the game master is building, that horizon, that future. Don't sit there and map a character out for 20 levels. Don't build this feat and that feat and this class and that class. Be open to the way the game master is molding you. You are the clay. The game master is the hands that is molding you. And if you try to be both, you're going to end up with a character that doesn't really fit the vision, doesn't give the game master the energy, doesn't provide the level of interest to the actual saga or campaign at hand. That's something that's very important to do. Make it a collaborative exchange between the two of you. The character is part, the game master's character as well, but it's also your character. You need to be involved, invested, coming up with things, producing different aspects of your character through different seeds, getting different parts of your character over, and that way it can really pop and be fun and be invested in. Your game master is going to want to keep running and running and running and running games. And if the game's good, that's how you win the game. by the game continuing to go on, by the character continuing to get over, by interesting cool seeds being put together for you and your benefit, and getting that extra spotlight on you at all times. That's very important to bring that level of potency, that level of interest to the game. So the player, I don't like a player being able to create things out of nowhere like you might in a Game of Thrones game. I like a player being able to have that collaborative narrative. You know, you defeated someone. What are you doing? How did they die? Did you knock them unconscious? Get into it. Hyper violent. Give the gore. Give the smell of it, the feel of it, the rippling of the battlefield. I think a player should invest, should bring that out of a game, should make the game master really involved, should make the game pop, and even have their bit of almost pseudo substitutive game mastering in of their own right. And that really can help get a game to a point where you have a much greater degree of synergy, a much greater degree of chemistry, and things can really flow. So I don't like players being able to weave something out of nothing, and I do like players having the ability to articulate through the theme of soliloquies. As the master, the inventor of the RPG soliloquy, that can explore in great depths the character's thoughts, the mind. Just pick up with it the Ring of Fire, and it's going to go through that and educate you on that in a doctoral level of RPG. So I'm very strongly in favor of characters being able to know what the player is thinking in the character's mindset, and expressing that and putting it over and getting to a deeper level of the game and understanding. But what are you and your gnome and your halfling and your pitiful small raced individuals? I even see a pixie out there in RPG land, and I want to know what you're thinking here on this same topic. Read from your scrolls, fool, if reading is capable in your mindset.
Us little people who look up to all the piles of excrement that you are, you tall races. I'd like to describe things, to set the stage, and the inner workings of the character should be their own. You can perhaps suggest with subtle adjectives and adverbs things that will percolate in a player's mind, but to go in there and tell them what they're feeling is beyond the pale. It's something you shouldn't do, but describes the things. Be very intricate about the details, the smells, the various senses that assault their character, and whatever their character does, or however they react, or however they feel to that, is their own. That's the player's job. The GM, the storyteller, whatever, they have so much to do on their plate that they don't need one more thing to do. So look at it that way. Give that to the players, delegate some authority, let them do something, because most of the time they just sit there like a lump of shit on a log, and I'm tired of it. Oh, next question. Random stat generation versus point buy. I know where your bitch ass stands on this, but I'll let you talk about it anyway, because I'm that great.
I appreciate you and your infinite lack of mental capacity to extend forward the offer to your better. That being said, and I see even now in your own village the other halflings chiseling from all of their wealth, melting down their gold and silver, and making a statue cast of your main man to give praise and worship to as this event is continuing. I am definitely not for the stat rolling for a lot of reasons. First of all, it can get a lot of players feeling less than satisfied, less than happy, not being able to produce that image. I want you to be able to think way before by having that point buy, so you can put together the image you have, with the only constraints being, you know, if you can't make Superman in a fantasy setting. You have to have some description of boundaries. You can't come in a level type game with a 20th level character. It needs to be the level that's appropriate, perhaps first level. The character has to conform to that. But in that, you have a tremendous possibility to dive into the vistas of your own imagination, those far off realms of thought and focus, and bring forth an RPG essence of entertainment that is tremendous, and gives you lots of time to think, even before things are going on, to get your mind around the character, instead of being able to have to conform to the dice. And I think there's a certain charm and quaintness to rolling that can be appreciated by some individuals. But I find a lot of individuals certainly can become very disenchanted when they don't roll the stats are going to make the character they want, or perhaps they don't roll high enough. And I think you have a tremendous amount of people like that. I have found more cheating in RPGs over people not being happy with the stats they have been given by their own choice to roll dice, or their game master forcing dice rolls upon them, than any other category capacity. And over the years, as I pay attention to these sort of things, I've caught many people cheating. You don't want people turning 13s to 18s and coming back the next week, or they weren't quite watched, or they rolled at home. You don't want that sort of thing infecting your game, because then the next player over there goes, well, gosh, I was playing the real stats, and wait, this guy is that and that and that. No. Where's my time? Where's my spotlight? Where's my ability to compete? And you can accidentally create an arms race in the game, and having an arms race is not the place you want to be in RPGs. You want people concentrated on the mind of the character, the psychology, on the gameplay, on the interface, on the imagination, not on the, I have to find this feat, or I have to find this weapon, I have to do whatever I can to start edging my own potency and power up. And this happens all too often to vastly too large of a percentage of RPG players. Even good players can certainly fall into this trap, and it could create certainly a quickly paced, artificial, and enforced power game scenario in your group, and that can go from campaign or saga to campaign or saga, one after another, and people can become bitter and jaded and feel that they need to play arms race style of gaming instead of sitting back and feeling that there's a level playing field, feeling it's fair. And there's a tremendous lack of fairness that's equated to dice rolling. One person could end up with, say, in D&D, 4 18s, and the other guy could have, nothing higher than 11. And some players might like that, and your main man wouldn't particularly care about that, but some people to a high degree will. So it creates a lot of issues of unhappy players, of people not being able to create the character they want, and of people being in a position where they are not able to fully engage the game the way they want to. You don't want aggravated or irritated people. You want enthused, happy, satisfied people, and you want them coming in there with a maximum time spent on creating the character's mind and psychology and personality, as opposed to the maximum time spent flipping through to find advantages and feats and merits and such that fit their power need to achieve with their less than powerful character. So back to you, Shorty. What do you think, you dirty, disgusting troll?
I'm devouring the blood and flesh of my last victim. Excuse me. I don't see anything wrong with a little randomness in who you want to play. It's a surprise. It's a challenge. It makes your imagination develop something out of nothing, to see what's before you. This blood is amazing. The randomness kills all this min-maxing and power gaming stuff that all these people are complaining about. They're so powerful. Shut up. Use some randomness. Roll them dice in front of you. Roll them in front of your game master. Oh, I'm so hungry. No. You all use the same dice. You have pretty much the same chances to roll. So there's none of this, oh, you rolled 6 18s at home. No, just roll them all in the same. And as far as fairness goes, if you're all using the same bones in front of you that you've cut out of your victim's chins, then there's that visceralness, that community together. Sure, you can have an idea for a character beforehand, but there's just different ways to go about it. There's randomness and then an idea. You take the things that are before you and let them inspire you. Let them make you create some table with everyone else around you instead of doing it at home by yourself. So yes, I'm more in favor of randomness and less in favor of these points here. And I'm going to spend 5 hours determining which bonuses I have in this stat. And, oh, well, these bonuses go to these skills, so I want to make sure this stat is high enough for that stat. No, thank you. Boom! Dice on the table. Boom! Here's my character concept. Let's play this shit.
Well, seeing that your cosmic character sheet in fact contains no bonuses to any stat or skill at all, Tim Harper, I can see why you would think that doesn't matter. But for the rest of us who have a high enough intellect on our character sheets to realize and understand the problems and dilemmas, that's certainly another issue. But hit it off, bring back that next topic, if even the capacity is within you to remember what someone told you was written on that piece of paper. As we all know, you can't read.
I'm going to read some shit right now, you mealy-mouthed scumbag. Yeah. How do you use less serious races like gnomes, which I know you don't use, you piece of shit, in a legitimate way within a campaign setting? And I'm going to answer this question first, because I'm tired of being after your stank ass. The setting. Describe them in different ways in the setting. Give them different motivations, different kingdoms, different rulers, different ways of dealing with people. Don't have them, well, they get a +2 to this. Change things, modify things. Ooh, don't be afraid to change shit. Gotta be rules as written. No, do what you will. Make that your own. Create, bend, break, put it in a blender, put it down your guzzle, puke it back out, and play with the guts. That's how you make them more interesting. Back to you.
If you want to talk about how do you get the maximum usage value out of a gnome or a halfling, I'm going to show you right here. And it's quick. It's not the kind of nonsense you are gibbering around. It's like this. And you add water and you cook it at 400 degrees. That's what you do. That's how you get your maximum use out of a gnome or out of a halfling. It's in the stew pot and in the ogre's belly. What else is there? I need a serious question, not this foolish shenanigans of your mind.
I am covering myself with the blood of my victims. Hold on a second. I can feel their strength flowing into me. Yes. How to get power gamers / dice rollers to role play. How do you do that? How do you get them to stay in character, be in character, speak in character? How do you do it? How do you motivate someone new, perhaps, that doesn't know how to do that?
Quick answer, right here. That's how you get them. You bring the pain and the seriousness of the ancient millionaire upon their nugget and upon their clavicle and upon their body in each and every way, each and every time, and you make them pay the price of an RPG lifetime. However, if you want to talk about new players, what you do is you have them read that role-playing chapter Within a Ring of Fire in Chapter 1, and you get them focused on that. Look at this disgusting creature. Who knows? It's probably eating its own disgusting, filthy, hair-covered, lice-infested foot right now. It's eating itself. That's the kind of mentality you would see off of the Athasian Tim Harper, a loathsome, absolutely despicable creature, just a cretin, just like a tiny gargoyle. Definitely, let's hope that someone puts him in a cage very soon, or perhaps, Tim, when the ogre meets you, this is where you're going to end up, boiling with some carrots. In fact, I don't even know if I want to eat something as dirty and lice-infested as you. But you want to get that new player.
I'm going to start eating your stomach. I'm going to work my way up to your fucking head. I'm going to put my fingers out your eye holes and talk like little finger puppets. You tasted amazing. You tasted amazing. Yeah! I'm going to pull your tongue down and shove it in my throat and gag on it. You love it.
I can imagine you would want to put my tongue down your throat, you loathsome, lecherous beast, you and ambivalent cretin. But I'd like to tell you this about those new players. You want to bring them in. You want to get them excited. Don't have them focus on rolling the dice. Don't put that over as a big deal. Give tremendous high energy RPG containing seeds with fury. Get your good players and say to the players, hey, bring them in, draw them in, get them involved, get them doing stuff. Get them not focused on simply rolling the dice. So when you have combat, make it hyper violent, make it engage all 5 senses. Talk about the mud, the blood, the perforated intestines, the shit, the piss, the violence, the fucking vulture circling after the combat is over, the feel of the wet grass beneath them, the smell of the scaly, despicable halfling as it's been unwashed its entire existence. It's like gut it over and over and over and even one more time. That's, oh my God, he's drinking from the stew pot of a gnome. We see this man eating a gnome. Tim Harper caught eating a gnome on camera. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this disgusting creature.
I'm eating humans, you bitch. Humans are good. They got all that fat and shit piled up in them. It tastes good. They just drain down my throat.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yo, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna eat you next.
Wait a minute. Let's not get carried away. No one needs to try to eat your main man. Perhaps I've been a little haughty, a little high on the horse. I respect you. I respect you.
Taking the turnbuckle. Bam! 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 And once you're down, I'm gonna devour you after I twist your legs off, knees. I'm gonna suck on the tendons and just devour your flesh, strip by strip. How do you get someone to role play just wants to roll fucking bows on the table? How do you do it? You do it by role playing to them. You speak in character to them. You describe and then you speak. You speak of all those NPCs, that bum on the corner, the man they're trying to buy something for. No, the guy's going to talk to you in Act 1, the shape of it, the color, all these things. Get details and get them in the flow. They'll forget and they'll respond in kind. If you role play, if you talk to them, they're going to talk back, or at least they will eventually. They'll understand that that's what you're going for. And if not, there's other groups. But if you want someone to reply in character, talk to them in character. That's my answer. Next question for this tall-ass troll bitch. Let's see here. When one has sipped mead with lords and ladies and slumbered in nameless lanes and gorged upon mutton, what else is a jive turkey to do? That's the question.
Well, I believe, baby, if you will, you talking about hard times on a man. You talking about 295 pounds of blue-eyed soul that has gripped a Faerunian nation, if you understand, baby. You know, I'm talking about flip-flop and fly on Fazal Shambru guy and dropping the elbow. We talking about what we say FRW, Forgotten Realms Wrestling, baby. That man doesn't rose no train, if you understand. Valoria to do the damage, to deal what he need to deal, baby. To deal with that man, Boogie Man, El Mister, getting that leg snapped by Fazal Shambru Flair under that Mr. McBain, baby. That man be bringing chains, be bringing a coming car to cause all the calamity, if you will, to that man Valorian. So definitely what you gonna want to do is embrace that selling, is understand in a game there's gonna be hard times put upon a man. There are hard times for a man, if you understand, baby. It's gonna be down here and it's gonna be up here. You're gonna have your losses in an RPG environment. You're gonna lose. You're not always gonna win, if you will, if you understand. Sometimes you're gonna be put under. And sometimes you're gonna come and be put over. You go hook a leg, you'll get that big time 3 count, if you will. That's what you need to understand, that the world is not there to put you over. You're not playing Kevin Sorbo and Hercules, the Legendary Journeys, baby. Let's hope you don't have an RPG like that. That's what I've always hated about these challenge ratings in the Dungeons and Dragons, if you understand. It's going to be situations that you have things that you cannot beat. You can beat my meat, but you cannot beat all these scenarios. What you can beat is only a certain stratification of circumstances. And after that, sometimes you are going to have to lose. And you're going to have to get used to the booker putting you under, baby. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. Just enjoy the scene and sell and keep getting involved and enjoy all aspects. You could enjoy it. You could go over by going under, if you will, baby. Now back to a real jabroni, a man with no walkout music to speak of at all. We talking about Tim Harper, if you understand.
So you've done it all, huh? Well, what a pretentious position to be from. I've done everything in this giant fantasy thing you call role-playing. There's always something else to experience, some new thing. You think you're jaded? Try a new setting. There's 1,000 of them or more out there. Try a new system that describes something or uses some different tactic. So don't go to the tavern anymore. Go somewhere else. Go to some cave where some troll is out there just munching away, as is his wont and do. I do envy you trolls for your ability to get food sources like this. Fresh liquid blood and chunks. What was I talking about? This food is distracting me, and I'm looking forward to devouring Anders' stomach. And do you like white or dark meat, Ander? Because I don't care. I like it all.
Oh God! I think there needs to be some calmness. Let's end this calamity, baby. I don't need any sort of halflings to get to devour the tendons of my legs, but you will catch a boot should you try.
Let's talk about something you do like. Why do you have a garbage fetish? Are you out there with your lady of choice, rummaging through the cans and bottles and boxes, just enjoying yourself, honoring up all the plastic and bags, the cloth? What is your fetish with garbage, my son, my child? Ender, I am your father!
Well, it seems like the syphilis is fully in Tim's brain at this point. Absolutely. The only piece of garbage I've ever had any dealings with is you, Tim. You're the biggest, filthiest, stench-riddenest piece of garbage. Look at you. How can you ever subscribe to any other mindset other than Tim Harper is garbage? The RPG community knows it, and your God knows it too. And I'm going to prove that to you in the cage when we charade your flesh versus steel and strap you with the girdle of giant strength, the RPG heavyweight title. But that being said, I'm not a man that enjoys garbage. I go to the flowers and the women, the beautiful, beautiful pixies of the flowers. That's where you'll find your main man with all the adulation. You clearly know much more about garbage than I. You're covered in it. You look like garbage. You look like a garbage can trash man on the best of your days. Now, it seems you've forgotten the questions you've been fed. We can all tell a deranged lunatic like this certainly has no capacity for literacy. But hopefully, off the top of your mind, you can think of more questions that these RPG fanatics did from you and bring it to me. Flower crown, indeed.
When it comes to character interaction, how do you suggest players come up with hindrances, flaws, and trouble? How should they relate to those sort of things? How should they portray that sort of thing and role play that? So hindrances, flaws, problems they have with life. That's the question. For your toothless, soulless bastard answer!
Well, I think it's like this. We can clearly see by anyone listening to you that there's a vast list of flaws, pages upon pages added to the back of your character sheet to show the utterly abnormal number of flaws you have. I think anyone looking at you can see how flaws can manifest through I certainly can't call you human, whatever sort of, oh God.
I don't have any flaws! I don't have any flaws! I'm perfect before the gods! Ah!
Well, I find this, the god of RPG judges you and finds you despicable and loathsome. But speaking of those despicable and loathsome aspects, those disadvantages, those flaws, those imperfections, really what you want to do is find weak points for your character. The reason why these are so wonderful is that's what helps get you over. That's what helps sell the character. That's what helps put sympathy on you. You could be a filthy, dirty, despicable bastard. You see the AD&D game that Rob Swabby Nuts, the Swampster, ran. Well-Daft campaign. The first video, I think over 20,000 views on that. People really enjoy that. My character, Rivisher, was just a mean bastard. And many mean bastards need to be hung around the neck, and I'll tell you that. But I showed the brokenness, the sadness, the sorrow, the tremendous abuse and that he had taken throughout his life, and how it had forged him, this broken shards of his soul had forged into this dark thing to help engender that sympathy, to help get him over. Remember, in the game, you are the protagonist. Your character might be dark and dirty and so forth, but you are the protagonist. You are not the villain. If you're playing a villain in an RPG game, you're doing it wrong. Your character may have done brutal, bad things, but he needs to have an element of sympathy to him, and your imperfections, your flaws, can so easily help bring that to you. But you can also showcase other aspects. Your character might be just amazing at fencing, for example, or have almost unlimited knowledge of what's happening on the streets, yet in other areas, he's clownish, buffoonish. You can show your ass. You can bring the players and show a comedy value by the fact your character mumbles out the wrong thing, or trips, or forgets stuff, or has a particular susceptibility, perhaps to silver, and all of a sudden the silverware comes around, and you're like, oh God, and that horrifies you. And you get so many more abilities to sell from your imperfections, from your flaws. Those are almost always my favorite thing to take in a game, to have those frailties because it gives you more to work with. You want to have more to work with your character, never have less. And often when your character seems that they have less, that's really when they have more, their weaknesses and so forth, that you can bring out and showcase these. It gives you one more thing to showcase, one more thing to role play, one more area for a game master to spotlight you. So we'll take it back to you. I realize I have just given an insightful and in-depth analysis, but clearly Tim Harper is the man.
That's what I'm talking out of you. I'm over you. My turn. So, flaws. How do you bring them forth? Well, you just look fucking around. There's people falling all over the place street. What the hell? Oh, there's a bastard right there. Oh, there's a jerk-ass motherfucker right there. You have lots of inspiration to find these flaws and lead them into your character. And how do you bring them forth? You exhibit them. You describe the things that they do, the jerky actions that your character perhaps performs. But as Anders says, you could be playing villains or heroes, but most of the times you're the focus of the story, and you need to show that. Maybe there's reasons. There's always reasons for something, even if it's just they want entertainment out of their actions. There's some sort of reason for that attitude, that decision that they're going to make that screws someone over completely. Something that's wrong with them, and it just makes the character so much more interesting. You don't want to have a vanilla character sheet and there's nothing really on there that's negative. You want to try to bring the positive and the negative. And if you have those flaws, it emphasizes the things that you have going for you, your strengths, your abilities. It's that contrast with the things that your character, is the things that are heroic about them. Perhaps they're strong or they're brave, but maybe they're weak in places and they're cowardly at times. They don't have to be heroes all the time. There's got to be something, perhaps an inner fear that they have, a phobia that can really come out in the scene. And when you contrast that with perhaps an entire campaign of just heroic actions, that one scene where they're scared to death can be very memorable. It'll stick out to your GM, the other players, and it just inspires people when they see someone role-playing like that. So, we still have a few questions left to go. Why do some GMs not tolerate psionics and soul blades and these sorts of different abilities in like D&D? What do you think about that? I'm going to eat some people first.
Oh God, just absolutely deplorable, absolutely heinous. Now I'm talking about you, but if we're going to talk about psionics, plain and simple, do not really fit into Dungeons and Dragons for the most part. I know your space critters of the industry, your Sonic the Hedgehogs, will sit there and blather idiotically on about, this and that module, or this and that sci-fi, blah, blah, blah. Dungeons and Dragons is predominantly a crib of Lord of the Rings with a bunch of other fantasy stuff thrown in, Jack Vance, and I could go on and on, but you guys know most of that to begin with. And psionics bring a completely different feel to the game. I thought the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons psionics were just very poorly done mechanically. I did not like them at all. I thought the 3.5 psionics were done very well. I thought they were the only time I've ever played any kind of Sonic character, played a Sonic character. And I think the videos are still up for on Alex Gillette's channel. So that's a good dude there. You can check his channel out. There's a little plug for you, your monkey ass Alex. And even a halfling he'd probably try to eat you, actually. He's clearly fucking has rabies. But beyond that,
wait, it's Captain Gothnog! Oh no!
That's right, Gothnog with a run-in from the background to destroy the halfling's nugget. That nugget, that dome piece needed to be reconciled. Get him! That's right, get him, Gothnog! Get him! Kick him right in the balls when you get a chance!
What's wrong with you?
Gothnog, a man with luxurious hair.
I got your throat! I'm sorry, but there's no more Captain Gothnog! It's butcher time!
By God! He's eating Gothnog! He's eating Gothnog! By God! Gothnog going straight to hell!
warm in my throat. He tastes like he's from Maine.
Yeah,
well, there's one less subscriber for me.
God, one less subscriber. What does that mean? You only have 2 now? Oh, God.
What was I? I'm drunk. Oh, the flesh. Oh, the warm Gothnog flesh. Next question. Should GM use dice at all? To you tall freak of nature. I'm coming for you next, Ender. I know you are close to me. A day's ride on horse, and your flesh will slide past my serrated teeth.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm trying to reconstitute my mental capacity in the face of this utterly despicable creature. I tell you, a horde gives me strength. My Talos, send down the lightning bolt of blue revenge upon this thing, and everyone out there, tune in to Gothov's channel. And make sure you watch one of his videos in memorial of him. Truly, oh my God. Oh my God, the man from Maine. It wasn't zombies that got you at all, Gothnog. It was a despicable halfling. I'm so repulsed by his very aspect. Oh God. You answer the question. You answer the question, you sick freak, you weirdo.
I think GMs should only use the dice when they want something random to happen. Otherwise, what's the point? Especially if you're not going to listen to the results that are rolled on the table. Only roll when you want a random result. Just let that stuff sit on the table if you don't. Just let the story flow, the descriptions flow, the interactions, the voices of the NPCs. You don't need to bring dice into it. Speaking of dice, I think I'm choking on something. Or is that a neck bone from Gothnog? God, he had a big neck. So, what do you think about dice? Should you roll them?
Yes. Gothnog neck bone. That's utter hideousness. Oh, folks, if you see Tim Harper, please destroy him. It's the rays and syphilis combination, the mega syphil. They have just destroyed this poor pitiful creature. All the garbage he's eaten, all the raccoons that have attacked him and molested him.
I'm gonna shove some Gothnog flesh up my nose. Maybe he'll get to my brains and I'll have his memories. I feel his strength flown into me.
I'm going to be sick. I think I speak for everyone that's ever going to watch this. You are sickening, but reconstituting my own mental focus in the face of my good friend being eaten by you despicable, diminutive beast. Game masters certainly should roll dice at times, but use simply the cinematic immersive formula at other times, depending on the scene, depending on the situation, depending on the player, depending on the scenario. You don't want to make players feel railroaded or they've been cheated, snatching their defeat for the jaws of victory. But at the same time, you want to change pace and shift gears. I tend to roll right in front of the players, let the players see my role, so no one knows there's any shenanigans, as some game masters have used in the past to reward certain players and to jack other players. I'm not about that. If I'm going to roll, you can see my rolls just like I can see your rolls, and perhaps you will pay the price and add that random element you seem to so much love. But with the syphilis in your brain, who knows what you even are capable of.
Randomness. Back to you, my future meal.
Yeah. I tell you this, people, the hammer will be held high. You may have destroyed a third level character like Captain Gothnog, but there's a whole lot more levels on your main man, and I'm gonna smash you and drive you into the ground with the fury of the storm. Say Tempos, say Talos, say Tim Harper. Down with you, mutant. Now you're talking about.
I'm coming at you with the chair, Ender! With the chair with Gothnog's blood on it! Uggy Kid, I know this is yours, and I'm coming for you next, bitch! I'm gonna come for you, Uggy Kid! Ah! And then I'll do this to your head! Ah! 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 Yeah! I'm gonna bash your brains in till I can suck them up with a straw!
This is where you're. This is where you're going, into the boiling water, just the place you've always meant to be your entire RPG career and lifetime. And I'm going to ladle you out and serve you up by me and my own barbarian horde, my own gruesome, just devour the flesh, the despicable, hideous halfling form, and take back the power of Gothnog for the barbarian horde, where it's always believed to have belonged. Now, you want to talk about...
The power of Gothnog resides within my soul! Ah! 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 Yeah! He's in my fucking stomach! And you're never gonna take that out of me! His power is mine! Mine! Ah! Yeah! Yeah! Oh shit! It's natural 20 games! Ah! 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 An Andrew Knapp! Oh! 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 Oh, Andrew! You might be the last one to talk to me! I think Andrew Knapp is... Oh! I think he's pierced my heart! Oh! Will you raise my known children for me, Ander? Oh!
I'd be honored, Tim, to raise your known children for you. Raise them until they're just the right size for my pot and for my Gouye, and I'm going to eat your kids. I don't give a damn. That's what's going to happen because I'm the Mike Tyson of RPG. And I'm very glad to see you in such pain, wallowing and suffering with your own disheveled, decrepit, despicable form. Certainly to my pleasure, what you've always deserved. RPG people, make some noise in the comments below. Let us know how much you detest the loathsome, rabies-infested, syphilitic-minded Tim Harper, the hobbit of RPG, the dirty-footed, despicable, hairy one himself.
With my dying breath, there's one more question. What do you think of random tables for inspiration to GMs, and what makes a good random table? I'm gonna shove some of this Gothnog flesh into the wound. Perhaps it'll slow the bleeding.
Oh, God! Tim Harper's figured out that Gothnog's blood actually has curative properties, which was only known to select members of the barbarian horde. And it seems, instead of being vanquished, it seems Tim Harper is coming back. The ultimate hobbit is coming back with Gothnog blood power. Gothnog himself, actually part Hydra, something that it was a closely guarded secret, and his blood capable of all the regenerative capacity. Oh, God, we thought hopefully at least the syphilis or perhaps herpes will be cured from Tim Harper, and his mind may return to that of a normal being. It's very unlikely. It's possible with Gothnog blood.
Oh shit! What do you think of those random tables? I feel the strength of Gothnog flowing into me, and I feel very virile and potent for some reason. Not sure why. I'm kind of excited at the moment. I don't know what to do. Andrew, you're looking quite attractive for some reason. I'm not sure why. That beard, I just want to stroke it.
It's Gothnog blood working in reverse. That's most hideous and despicable. I'll definitely be keeping my millionaire beside me to bash this halfling when he needs to receive what he's got coming to him. Talk about random tables. Random tables are like random garbage cans. You open them up and there's nothing you want inside of them. They're only trash. I'm the man with the flower crown, and I want to smell the good things in life, not the loathsomeness of foul gnomes and trolls and hobbits. My man, the half-orc Gothnog, has paid the price. He attempted to aid the barbarian horde with a sneak attack on your monkey ass, but ultimately was laid to rest. But as far as random tables, these things should be laid to rest, particularly in the hands of inexperienced dungeon masters. They have destroyed enormous numbers of games and even driven game masters from the hobby in sheer embarrassment. At first level, throwing a Hydra in a clear scenario where it is meant to fight the players against them, devouring all of them, killing them, TPKing them, and the players look baffled at their dungeon master for his lack of credentials and talent. A random table, certainly, you should have all your encounters mean something. They should be important. If all you can do is throw monsters.
Ender! See Sean Connors behind you. He's coming after you, man. Watch out! Here comes Sean Connors! Oh! RPG community, raw immersive games, the tabletop one-shot group. I think Ender is. I think he's gone. His corpse is gonna be a rancid mess by the time I get there to devour him. I don't know what to do. I'm really sad, and I want to cuddle for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'm emotional right now.
All right, mate. Join me, Sean Connors, from Outside of 68, as we explore the different facets of the D20. Oh no! That's right. Take this, Sean Connors. Take this as I destroy you, as I smash your skull to a bloody paste and make Tim Harper eat it. He'll eat no flesh. He doesn't give a damn. Take this, you loathsome gnome, you filthy scraven of the British Isles. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sean Connors. Oh, now I'm going to put boots to you. Oh, yeah, take that. Take these boots, Sean Connors, you piece of garbage, you piece of trash. All right. You're making an attack. It is infinite.
When it comes to random things, it is really a summation, a quick summary of perhaps an area. If there's an area with lots of different creatures in it, they should have more of a spread, more of a number range on the random amount there so that they represent the area. It can really be like a cliff notes for a certain section of your setting, a section of the dungeon. You can have multiple ones of these. And for inspiration and surprise. A lot of times I really miss being surprised by things, and random tables, random results can give you inspiration, especially if you didn't write them yourself. So if you're looking for a good table out there, you want to find something that maybe someone else wrote or something that they wrote specifically for the setting that you're running, and modify them, change them, but they can surprise you. They can inspire you. If you have a moment where you're not really sure which way to go, what to do, what to have them interact with, there's a whole random list there. You can even just pick down through it if you want, but the randomness is that element of surprise, which can really alleviate GM burnout. But, this headache. Fantastic Dimensions are coming for you. I'm going to Ireland. Yeah, I'm going to cross the sea and devour you from the head down. I'm going to twist you out and pull your tongue out and just dive right into your fucking throat. What do you think of that, you big Irish bastard?
Absolutely. We know that Fiona werewolf Rob Pepper does reside on those Emerald Islands and will make you pay the price and will sort you out. Please don't eat Tim. He's full of 1,002 diseases. And you certainly don't want any of those in your bloodstream. And if you have to eat the flesh, boil it to a seared finesse. That being said, speaking of paste, Sean Connors on the floor, English style, Scraven, gnome, call him what you will. I call him a spot on my floor. Sean Connors, Captain Gothnog, and many others certainly have been dispatched and been dealt out and have been done through. Barbarian horde stands strong, represents for the power of the thunder and the lightning. And that's the right time for you bitch ass, trick ass, monkey ass, work ass, mark punk bitch of the industry. You with the combined mental powers not to even equal any aspect of possible mentality. You and your abased flaming princess will be put to the test when we crucify you live next week on pay-per-view. Tune in and watch Tim Harper literally being crucified for his sins against Captain Gothnog, and he will always pay the price. You know the Onion Kid's gonna be there. You know Dirt to the Dirtiness. The dirty-ass, dirty one is going to be there. We know Lucky Lou is going to be there. My girl Mia is going to be there. And we're going to hoist you one step at a time. Ropes. And we're going to crucify you on a 4-foot-tall crucifix. And you will pay the price of asphyxiation and pain and degradation. And all of you will get to watch pay for what he did to Gothnog over and over again. Do you have any closing words you'd like to speak to the Barbarian Horde, to the Gnomish Legions, and to God, anything else, just for simply posterity's sake, you depraved freak?
My hunger has no bounds. I know your horde, your barbarian horde, is very populous and devoted to your loudmouth visage, your floating head in front of them. But know this, my hunger shall not be abating until I devour each and every one of you. Your warm, steaming blood will gush down my throat and boil in my intestines. You summon me forth from the halfling circle of hell, and you will reap that which you sowed. Yeah! Yeah! Ah!
Well, absolutely. I would like to thank each and every one of you out there in YouTube land for turning in for the cage match of a wrestling and an RPG lifetime here. Comment below. Who won? What did you think? What did you like? What do you want to see next time? Who do you want to see step in the cage with your main man to challenge for the girdle of Storm Giant Strength, the World Heavyweight RPG Champion? Make sure you pick up your Within the Ring of Fire books. And I'd like to thank the syphilitic demon that infested Tim's brain and brought him here today to be humbled, humiliated, and to have his back broken, Iron Sheik style, this rat bubble. And to you, I suppose I will say the word thank you to you, Tim. If you're somewhere in there in that disease-crawling vortex, you would call ahead that big pumpkin-like thing upon your finger.
Tim is no longer. There is only the hellish halfling.
Thank you, and good night.